Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to PoE. We have done a lot on this launch weekend. I have never pushed this hard on a league start, like just completion or progression. I guess bonus objective completion. If you take a look, 96 out of 115 are done. I've managed to grab myself the 4th lab. And I did change it up. I went for Bastion of Elements here. I will respec out of this. However, it was immensely useful in just making me that bit more tanky against elemental damage, but also immune to elemental reflect, right? Not having to worry about reflect when you are corrupting maps is absolutely immensely helpful. As you can see, we are sitting at 2000 life, 5,500 energy shield. We do have a little bit of energy shield leech. We also managed to get a little bit of cold damage leached as life. So we leech ES and we leech life. We have a chance to unnerf on hit. On my boots I do have a little bit more movement speed and increased CDR for travel skills. Immensely helpful. And we have a little bit of increased effect of non-damaging ailments on the helmet, as well as some cast speed. Really nice. I'm still on a 5 link, and I managed to beat the Voidstone bosses, right? So, Searing Exarch, as well as Eater of Worlds, the, I guess, story progression versions of them, I was able to do on a 5-linked Ghost Rife, right? And that's amazing. I did buy myself an Anathema. This really helped with single target damage, as you can imagine. So I have an Arcanist brand here with Frostbite, Ellie Weakness, and obviously Sniper's Mark, right? So we have those 3 curses on the bosses. It made mana sustain a pain in the ass though, so we definitely need to proc Arcane Surge with Flame Dash basically on cooldown, so every 4 seconds. However, it did work out pretty well. I did get myself a very nice shield with a lot of health and some increased chance to block, right? 35% block, that's insane. I was able to reach level 90, as you can see here. We are res capped on 76% elemental resistances. Chaos is up to 27. And as you can see, attack and spell block are both sitting at 75, with the caveat that 65% of damage still comes through. However, that also doubles our block, right? So for a level 93, I'm very happy with it, and it is pretty much how I've done it last league. And we managed to get a dual stat jewel that dropped for me with some increased life and 4% recouped as life, which it's quite nice, not gonna lie. Having the ability to leech both ES and life, also very good. I would like to get more of chaos damage. Taken does not bypass energy shield though, because that is a big killer for me, as well as physical damage, which is the weakest point of this build. I got lucky and unlucky at the same time. So I do have a stone golem of hordes that I got out of the 4th lab. Would have loved to be a stone golem of safeguarding, and then I probably would give up the flame golem. But yeah, I think that's the route I will take. I will still try to get there. As you can see, we are sitting on 193 chaos right now, which is a decent amount to have, right? I'm happy with that. Atlas skill tree wise, it's just like the classic, right? Shrines, strong boxes, scarabs, map sustain, a lot of map sustain, 2 wheels here, and also shaping the world as well. And then we have the Conqueror maps, the Shaper and Elder Guardian maps, and the synthesized maps that can drop. And actually, already we can see we have 5 of those at the moment, which is very cool to see. And yeah, I mean, wow, right? I also did drop my first tier 17 map that I was able to sell for like 25C, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Bastion of Elements. As you can see, triggers level 20 Primal Aegis, right? So this can take 75 LE damage per allocated notable skill, right? The notables are the big points here, right? all of these guys, and they do add up at the moment for me to 2.25 or 2,250 elemental damage. So when I get hit by like 3,000 LE damage, most of it is just non-existent. I will take 1,000 damage to my ES, right? There's a chance I block it and it gets reduced to 65%. So really feels good. And yeah, I was so surprised how well this 5-link did. The 5-link is Freezing Pulse, Pinpoint, Spell Echo, Cold Pen, and Hypothermia, right? So this is 29% more damage with hits and ailments against chilled enemies. And like, we do chill a lot. And yeah, this is a very nice damage boost for us. We are still low on damage, even with the Arcanist brand. I don't think we did hit 1 million yet, even with when we have 3 stacks on Pinpoint, right? Up here, intensity. So yeah, it's quite low damage. The boss fights did take a long time, but as you can see, we have both of these Voidstones already. Now, this build is not designed to get the other two. This build is not designed for bosses at all, right? Which is also why I was able to not take Heart of Destruction and go Bastion of Elements, because I was like, I should be able to scrape by with what I have, which is fine. And yeah, obviously we do have 2 uniques, right? We have Ghost Wraith and we do have Anathema. Now, Ghost Wraith, the one thing that you need to be very... Oh, why does it... It does that sometimes. There we go. One thing you have to be extremely diligent about if you go to search for 6-links for this. There's a lot of Foulborn uniques now, and they do change this stat, right? And you do not want that to be changed, because we need to convert our max life. It's not enough to have this stat or the recoup. It's just not enough. You need to get to one that is like this. 50% max life converted. Now, as you can see, this costs a lot of money, which I'm closing in on that. And usually for me, I wouldn't push tier 14s to 16s with a 5-link. I'm extremely happy that I was able to do, though. And we will just run tier 16 Alkent Go map to see how this goes, right? Just so you get a feel for it. We are quite tanky, except for physical damage, and chaos damage we need to be very careful about. Also, before we jump in, my flasks, we do have a Quicksilver flask, obviously. We have a Granite, and we do have a Basalt flask to get more armor out, right? And I do need this Enduring Mana flask now. But as I said, we basically need to prop Arcane Search up here every 4 seconds to keep it up, right? At bosses, at least. Throughout the map, you can just pop your flasks. You can go in here and just Freezing Pulse stuff. That should work. You can, if you see a rare or a magic pack, drop a Frost Bomb with Spell Cascade, right? That will clear most of them up. And yeah, as you heard there, I need more mana. And you will hear this a lot here in the beginning. Now, granted, my gear isn't optimized, right? I'm still leveling some of the gems, so yeah, it's kind of whatever, it's okay. I'm leveling Celatry my offhand right now for later. Remember, Celatry is a little bit of more spell damage, as well as crit, right? So it's definitely something that I will only need to worry about when we are thinking about switching to crit. And I think for me, I will stay on the non-crit version for a little while now, and just try to work out the weak points, right? It's definitely physical damage at the moment that is hitting us for the hardest, so that is something to keep in mind. And I think the Stone Golem of Safeguarding might be able to deal with that. Now, I didn't focus much on that breach, that's my bad, right? Or the league mechanic, I guess, the new breach. And yeah, I really I enjoy the league a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I had a little bit of trouble at certain points, like breaking into tier 14s plus was extremely difficult. I didn't have Anathema when I challenged the Eater of Worlds fight. And I was like, okay, before I do Searing Exarch, I need Anathema. I got one Divine that dropped naturally, and then I also did drop a Scarab that I was able to sell for more than 100 Chaos, which was really nice, and basically funded Anathema as well as some currency to roll the implicits on my gear, right? There we go, you got a Toxic Sewer out of that. And yeah, this is how the build runs at the moment, even with just Frostbomb and Freezing Pulse itself. This is what you can expect from the build. I don't want to like pad the damage numbers and stuff or anything, so every path of building I post at the moment has no intensity ticked. I will probably not even bother with taking Shock and Chill, so you get the lowest possible thing. What will be in there is probably the curses. Yeah, so yeah, I will take my time to take a couple of boxes for you, just so you see what you are looking at when you have the curses active on a boss or a rare, as well as Frostbomb has the exposure applied, right? That is always... Oh, we have a Soul Eater enemy here. Take a good look at my ES. As you can see, it's pretty decent, not gonna lie. Like, yeah, sure, once we leech to the top, we are basically done, right? And we have a cooldown again, but that's okay. That's okay. It does work fairly nicely. And as I said, I'm very surprised just at how far I got with mostly cheap gear, like the Ghost Drive 5 Link. You can pick that up very, very cheap. Yeah, Anathema is the most, I guess... Oh, hey, leveling gloves, look. Lactonial Caress, nice, I will put them aside. Yeah, that's the most important, the most expensive thing. It was really expensive. It dropped down to like 45 to 50 C at the moment, which is when I bought it. It was really nice. I also actually got myself a new amulet with a huge life roll and some all res and dex and strength. And yeah, we have allocated building in combination with Ghost Drive. This is an additional 3% of max life that gets not converted, but you get it on top as max ES and 7% max life, right? So it's just a survivability anoint, and I'm happy with that. So that's also where my currency went. Getting all of these things set up. And yeah, if you take a look at the items, like, it's not... These are not good items, right? That is just... Yeah, the bases are wonky. I am using the same wand. I guess the wand was just an amazing find, right? That was so insanely lucky, like... Yeah, it's going to take me a little bit of currency to get a better wand than that. And here you can see Maven interfering with the boss fight. Look, see, that is not a lot of boss damage, right? It will be better once we do spec into convergence, obviously. But until then, like, this is what you are dealing with, and yeah, it's slow. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It is slow. There's probably a way to incorporate a little bit of culling at some point, but yeah, that's a tier 16 map Al can go, right? With no special stuff on the skill tree except for like some quant, some map sustain, some strongboxes and shrines, which I didn't even see this time around. Also, Helena is the NPC that identifies your items. You can hold Control, Alt, and left click, and everything will be identified for you, right? So, just really quickly wanted to to add that. There we go. Yeah. Now, as I said, the plan is to get a 6-linked Ghost Wraith, and then I am probably going to think about Pain Attunement, right? And getting myself into low life with Arrogance support and Herald of Ice. That did work out fairly well. Now, this is 3 skill points, right? Or, and that's a very dangerous move, but when it dropped, it clicked in my head like, yeah, Crown of Thorns, right? We lose a lot of armor, but we get just like Pain Attunement. Yeah, and we take more fist damage. So it is a very, very risky move. But to save on skill points, it could actually be worth it, right? It could be worth it. So yeah, still spec'd into 2 of these massive points here, and yeah, okay. We are getting close to unspec one of them at least, which is good to see. Right, so yeah, that's the current state of things. Moving forward, like I think level 92 and 94 will just be these 2 jewel sockets. I think that would be the best thing for me to get at the moment. So yeah, obviously we do have the energy shield wheel here, so that could also be something that would also give us +1 to lightning res, which is okay. But yeah, I don't know, like I still feel like with jewels we can combat a couple of shortcomings and maybe get some dex and strength. Well, strength, we are very good in strength. We are on 247. We don't need that much. But like dex, yeah, just getting dex on a jewel with like maybe cast speed as well, and maybe some other stat that would be helpful could be extremely nice. And once I will spec out of Bastion of Elements, I will spec into Heart of Destruction for now, just to make these boss fights go by a little bit quicker, especially when I will be starting with stuff like Guardian maps and Conqueror maps, right? I feel like I will be in trouble if I don't use convergence there, and I'm also looking for jewels with like crit jewels for the future, right? We didn't receive anything that good, yeah. Which is fine, that's a-okay. Cool. I mean, we got a tier 16 map out of it, which is very nice. But yeah, I want to empathize again, like 96 completion, 9 maps short of completing the Atlas on Sunday. That is insane for me personally. And yeah, see, I haven't even applied a single MTX so far. I just didn't. I couldn't. So yeah, let's talk about the bases a little bit. So, Faithful Helmet, not that bad of a base, right? It's a little bit of armor, a little bit of evasion. Item level 83, that's a pretty good one. I did gamble for this one with Faustus, right? Faustus in your hideout is the guy you want to talk about too, for gamble for items, and then you just go and, like, I did go random armor and energy shield helmet. I did the same for my gloves, actually. These were item level 82. And as you can see here, it's just a good life roll, 1 res, a little bit of armor, and some energy shield. That's it. So all our armor comes from these 3 items, basically. And yeah, armor evasion boots, they had 30% move speed, 99 life. These are the same boots that I wore since day 1, since Friday, basically, or Saturday. Since I reached maps, I think no, even earlier, yeah, these are item level 59, so I picked those up throughout the campaign, and I still have them on, just because I haven't found better boots. And with the implicit, they are up to 35% movement speed, which is insanely good, right? That is enough for now. We have Flame Dash for our mobility skill. Yes, no shield charge for the moment. Could we incorporate that? Very, very difficult to do so. Because shield charge without faster attacks feels shit. So yeah, at the moment, not really. Also, we do have multiple portal gems. I did source some of them out to my buddies though, and I still have some in my stash lying around. Yeah, just one of the divination cards dropped, and it was fire. It was really, really good. So yeah, cool. I will import this character into Path of Building now. I will meet you in Path of Building as well. So 1 sec, please. There we go. Here we are. And let's import our build. There it is. You see 300,000 and you think, oh my god, how did he even do this? Now keep in mind. Let's go skills. Yeah, see, there's a lot of stuff just leveling in the offhand. And I will go through and delete those. There we go. Oh yeah, one thing I need to talk about as well, upgrade-wise. I bought a 2120 Freezing Pulse. This is insane. This is actually insane. This is really, really good. And yeah, see, everything else is like on level 19. So yeah, not even fully leveled now. Clarity on level 3, and yeah, everything else basically on 19, except for the curses. We got up to 15 on the Arcanist brand and 16 on Ellie weakness, so that's a-okay. So yeah, as you can see here, physical max hit very, very low, and yeah, I do believe a stone golem of safeguarding will be a little bit better. However, if we take away the flame golem and we go stone, oh, hello, there we go. Stone golem of safeguarding. It doesn't even take it into account in Path of Building, so I will need to figure that out first, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's a-okay. We need to get quality on our gems, all that jazz, right? So, however, we need to take the enemy as shocked, because we do always shock, and chilled as well to get the benefits from hypothermia. If an enemy isn't frozen, he will be chilled. That is just a matter of fact. On a boss, we are at least at 2 intensity, sometimes even on 3. So we are looking at around 700,000 damage, and I somehow managed to kill the Eater and the Searing Exarch with it. As I said, it has taken me a long time, but it was absolutely worth it. So yeah, sometimes we will also get unnerved, I guess. So our anti-wrath aura from the golem, so 850k is probably the best outcome that we can expect. But honestly, like getting the curses on, getting Frostbomb on for exposure, and not have the wrath aura, 2 intensity is quite easy to sustain on a boss. I think 700,000 is probably a-okay. That's a-okay. Right, you can see here, chance to shock is 100%. So, yeah. It says 36% shock here, and that I think is correct. I think I saw like, it was definitely over 30, 32 to 36, depending on the boss, and that's okay, right? However, yeah, you see this 9,000 Fizz max hit and the 4k Chaos max hit. Yup, I died a lot. I'm fine with that, don't get me wrong, but I want to mention this build is very good against elemental damage. It's not very good right now against anything else. So, if we will let this go and get convergence in, and we are lucky enough to have convergence, we are pretty much looking at 1 mil DPS once we hit 3 intensity. So, okay. It's probably going to be the right move to switch over. But yeah, I'm decently happy with this, and yeah. Also, with our flasks map active while mapping, right? We are going to have like 16.5k armor. It's not much, but it's definitely helping. And remember our block and spell block chance as well, right? And with the Quicksilver flask, we are looking at like 77% movement speed with all of the flasks active. The Enduring flask, as you can see, it pushes our mana regen from 160 per second, which is a bit less at the moment than we need, right? And that's what I mean. So yeah, having this active, 255, that's good. Also having Arcane Surge active, right, helps really much. Oh, we no longer have convergence, there we go. Definitely helps as well. So yeah, Arcane Surge is actually already in here, especially for the cast speed and the mana regen. So that is also something to keep in mind. I probably should deactivate this, and then you can see, yeah, it's kind of, we are a little bit too short on mana regen, which is why the Enduring Flask is so immensely important, right? So please, if you're struggling with mana, Enduring Mana Flask and keep Arcane Surge up with Flame Dashing, it's just immensely important, right? So, upgrades for this build, planned upgrades. I need more armor on this, right? I would love to get an Aegis Aurora. They are very expensive at the moment. But I really want like the Ghost Wraith 6-link, right? Let's take a look what a 6-link does to this. If we just add in our added cold damage that we have, that is also on level 19 at the moment, right? So yeah, that's like 130,000 DPS that we gain. that pushes us over 830k. Yeah, that will be 1 mil as well, with unnerf and 3 intensity sacks. So I think that is probably going to be the play, but I will have to see. I think it's probably. Let's check. We are not going to use controlled destruction, because that will. I can show you actually. Yeah. We would go down to 2.6 crit chance, so we will no longer proc Elemental Overload, which is very bad. Ele Overload is up all the time, basically, when you're casting this, so it's fine. Awakened Added Cold will be amazing, obviously, because you get +1 level as well as the base damage, right? And what else? Like Ele Focus? I don't want. We need to chill. Inspiration could help for mana cost, actually. Or Cruelty. Cruelty could also give us a little bit more power than Added Cold, I guess. However, Added Cold is what I have lying around, and it's probably what I will grab. Although, I will think about Inspiration, to be honest. I will think about it. Okay, cool. So, another thing that we may want to take into consideration is, what does adding Zealotry do just for the damage? It's a good amount of damage. It's not a lot of crit actually, but it is a good amount of more damage. So probably going low life, and then, as I said, having Arrogance linked to Herald of Ice to have that that be reserving life instead of mana will be awesome. And then remember, we do also have the Mastery that gives us another +1 to all max Ele reses if we have both life and mana reserved. So that could also be the play, and to make us even tankier. However, as I said, I need to get my armor rating up to withstand the barrage that is tier 14 plus maps. I mean, I honestly did die a lot, right? I did die a lot. That's just how this is. However, I will now go and give you guys in this tree, like this is the level 90 point. I will add in the other points, like I did here, right? Where you can see how I did level. I will do that, and I will just post a new path of building, and I will correct the one on the old video. But yeah, that was the launch weekend for me. Absolutely amazing league start. As I said, didn't think I would make it that far, but I love that I did. With that, that's all I have time for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and as always, take care. Bye.